street. Sorry, that's Granville Street right now, and things are starting to get a little testy down there as well. Over here, there's more running here on Georgia Street, I can tell you that, as we watch the scene on Granville. And Shane, what can you see from where you are?
Thanks very much, Tony. As mentioned, our studio right here at the corner of Hamilton and Georgia. You mentioned the Riot police. Let's just get a shot outside. Riot police have started moving further and further down Georgia, moving the folks, I guess, trying to contain them in one area. You mentioned you still can see the flipped over pickup truck that's burning. The second vehicle lit on fire tonight. The first vehicle was on fire. The Vancouver Fire Department was able to get in through the crowd. They were able to put the fire out. But as soon as they left the scene, crowds flipped over a pickup truck and started that on fire, and no one seems to be leaving. You can look up, just up from the fire now, you can see police. You can see police in riot gear. There was police on horseback as well, and it seems that every so often, now it looks like more police are moving in as well. The police with their yellow vests looking to break up some traffic, some trouble. You can see they've got one troublemaker just trying to move them along as they can. Don't want to really arrest anyone, it looks like at this point, just trying to get them out of this area. So police now dealing with the blue barricades that are up, trying to move those out, and obviously try to contain the situation. As I look up the street, I can see that the police in the riot gear, and it seems that every so often they kind of make a bit of a charge and they take a few steps down to try to move people, and at that point you see fans and the crowd just start running, but then the police stop, the crowd stops, and it seems that some filter back. So now you've got a wall of police in their yellow vests kind of in front of those blue wire barricades that were there to protect the big screen and keep the street closed. So you've got a row of police there, and then at the other end, in from Homer, close to Hamilton now, you've got a row of police officers in their riot gear. And as mentioned, every so often, taking a few steps, moving people back and back, that car continuing to burn. It's amazing to me that no one's been seriously hurt, at least that we know of, by those car fires. People not scared at all. You wonder that, a car's on fire, what's in the gas tank, will it explode? No one seems to be scared at all. People posing for pictures just mere feet from the burning vehicle, as we keep a close watch on police to see if they make another move and try to disperse the crowd. Still along Hamilton, you've got people on both sides of Georgia Street. A lot of people just kind of sticking around and watching, not believing what they're seeing. I would think for the most part, and as is usually the case, there's probably just a handful of folks that start the trouble and that mob mentality takes over. People start throwing things into the fire. I've saw lawn chairs thrown through the air. I've seen porta potties tipped over. You've seen just trash cans set on fire and thrown through the air. And just so you know, on the opposite side of where that car is burning in front of the post office, on the opposite side of the street, it's kind of blocked by some trees, but there is another fire going on. It looked like it was small originally, but from where I'm standing now, if I lean just out over the studio, I can see flames from here. Again, not sure what is burning at that point. Could be a garbage can, could be all kinds of things. It's hard to speculate. But police seem to have at least moved the crowd away from there. Hopefully we'll get some fire officials in there. And the same thing with the car situation as well. I look at it as it continues to burn. No firefighters in sight at this point. They did a great job on the first one. Not so much now. Let's send it back to the desk with Tony and Natalie.
All right, Jane, thanks very much. Natalie Clancy was describing the scene from a vantage point on the CBC Plaza. Then I understand it was suggested you would move along to something a little more safe.
Much to my chagrin, unfortunately, but it is a developing situation. I can tell you one of the problems we have right now, Tony, is the reason these fires are still happening is Vancouver police have decided it is not safe for fire crews to get into the downtown core. Pardon me, we just heard another explosion. That's another car, but let's go back to that shot. It's not safe for the fire crews to get in. It's not safe for paramedics to get into this crowd right now. We are hearing another explosion. I have a producer down on the ground who tells me some of what we're hearing is actually firecrackers, but it doesn't seem like we're long out from hearing the sound of tear gas guns as police. As we've been told, I was told to come in the building because the riot squad was moving in with gas and we should take cover at that point. But from our vantage point, we have another fire, and I'm not sure exactly. We can go a little bit closer. We might have a better chance to see this. But again, most of this crowd are just standing around watching, and then you have a core group of troublemakers. Police, as Shane mentioned, have arrested several people. I just don't see the volume of police that we were promised when they talked about security. On the periphery, there's police that seem to be watching the crowd. I'm not sure what their strategy is or how much longer this is going to happen, and I'm looking straighter ahead up where the windows were smashed in the next block of BMO. There's a lot of police activity up the street as well, I guess trying to protect that building as rioters or people did go inside and smash the glass. But we're seeing another fire as we've got two cars upside down. One I know is a silver Toyota Prius, and another one looked to be a truck, but we do have several people arrested and a lot of people just hanging around watching very close to this black smoke and the fires from our very too close for comfort vantage point, I would say, Tony.
You know, I think the police strategy right now is to slowly squeeze that crowd to the next intersection, and they will feed them off down into safety by doing that. And then perhaps get a hold of those people you described as the core group and prevent any more of these fire settings that have been going on through the evening. It really is quite dangerous because people are getting terribly close, even daring to jump into these fires almost and start throwing things. And, you know, there are other people to consider here, people who go to observe, as curious people will sometimes, but they're getting very close to danger here, so things have got to happen.
I think it's all about a hockey game. You know, people were so excited for their beloved Canucks. Take a closer look. Now the tear gas is
Now the tear gas starts.
Well, you can see the shot is a bit crowded, but you can see that police have moved in, and they are moving this crowd. This is no longer the friendly police officers in the yellow vests. These are full-on Riot Squad police officers, and the crowd are throwing things at them. There's a wall. There's a wall of Riot Squad police officers behind them, backed up by yellow vests, dozens of officers in behind. And they are attempting right now to move this crowd, and we did see one shot from the police that did appear to be tear gas. So
Dobre.
a standoff. They're not moving very quickly at the moment.
Dobre.
But as you see in this shot, there is a wall of people, there are the fires, and then up Georgia Street towards the next block, you see lots of police officers. Shane, what do you see over there?
You know what, Natalie, and you mentioned the tear gas. We saw the Riot Squad fire off some tear gas. The police now have moved even closer. When you look up the street and you see Homer, so Georgia is kind of clear now from, I would say almost from Hamilton up to Homer. And then Homer, they're holding everyone back so they can't kind of mingle in and make this crowd even bigger. Police have moved down about as close as they can get. I can see officers making an arrest right now just behind their line, the riot gear line. They have started using tear gas. You can see the car still burning. There's fires on both sides of the street now. I can see a number of trash cans burning as you go up Georgia Street from Hamilton to Homer. Trash cans on both sides of the street burning. Police, as I can see, taking a few people away, making some arrests. They're moving the media away as well. Everyone trying to keep everyone safe. And the riot gear moving closer and closer. There again, another shot. That's more tear gas you can see. And then you see the folks start making their way. They hear that. They see the smoke. Yeah, you can see people moving right in front of the studio now. People kind of starting to run. You hope there's not going to be anyone trampled as they take a look, and more tear gas. Now the police are back there. We mentioned we saw them on horseback earlier. They are now back in scene. They are on Georgia Street, just between Hamilton and Homer, making their way towards Hamilton. I see about, 7-8 horses, 7-8 police officers on horses making their way. And if this doesn't intimidate the crowd and get them moving, and they are starting to move, just not probably quickly enough as far as police would be concerned. People still lingering now. People pushing over those blue barricades. It is amazing to me that I'm not seeing more people hurt. It is amazing, as you mentioned, Natalie, this is about a hockey game, and it only takes a few people. I can see people just running up for no apparent reason, just pushing things, just trying to knock things over and make an absolute mess of what we're watching. People, obviously, most people, as we said, were just here watching, didn't want to be involved, and now you're just looking at people pushing, and it's amazing that no one is getting hurt right in front of us right now. I have a hunch that we're going to be talking to police as witnesses by the time this is over.
And Shane, can you hear me? I'm not sure if I'm up here, but they have just started moving the fences. I'm not sure.
Well, I don't think they're moving them. I think those are people pushing them over. There's no one of any authority around. These are people just making a mess.
It's true, but if you look up the street, there are a lot of police coming up on the other side. We've got about 2-3 dozen on the other side of Georgia Street, moving in on that side. So we still have this combination of police officers in the yellow vests combined with police officers on the mounted squad, and I do see the SUVs up the street that have a much larger contingent of riot police.
And lots of activity in front of the Queen Elizabeth Theatre now. They have turned on these blue fences, and they're using those fences to cause a little more delirium down here. People are going to get hurt because those fences are flying through the air, and there's one person dancing on it now, and this is not going to stop in a hurry by the look of it because it's spreading out a little more.
Now, we do have some video to show you of a car flipped over, and a disturbing night. I'm just trying to look for my monitor. You're going to show the shot. You're still showing Granville and Ruffson. There's the car that's been flipped over. That's the close-up. And that's a car that later, there it is, it gets set on fire, and that is the second vehicle that we know of just in front of us that was pushed over and set on fire. Subsequently, several explosions. That's sort of the spark, these two car fires right close to each other. And if you look now, I have to tell you, I want to get you to move to Shane's camera, a developing situation as the other vehicle